How is everybody doing today? Welcome to a very special episode of the Berel Solomon Show. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I would like to talk about something very powerful today, which is the power of charity. Number one, 10% of your income, preferably 20%. Every person out there should, at the very least, be giving 10% of their net income to charity. This is not from me. This is from a very wise man named Moses. Maybe you heard about him. From a very well book, New York Times bestseller, #1 on Amazon. It's called The Bible. And they suggest that you give 10%. God suggests, more like commends, that you give 10% of your salary to charity, and preferably 20%. So just a quick story is Joseph. He was a man, maybe you heard of him, Yosef. He tithed 10%. So that means he took 10% of any of his wealth and he gave it away to charity. And that 10% that he took away is actually what preserved his 90% of wealth that he had put away in these vaults. So everything that you do gets elevated. Not only does the 80% of your money left over get elevated, but every single action that you do in your business life gets elevated as a result of you giving charity at the 20% level. All right, next. When you give tzedakah, charity, you stop being so darn selfish. Think about it like this. The lowest creature in the world is called a gnat. I don't know if you've ever heard of this bug before, but it is one of the only creatures in the world that eats and does not go to the bathroom. Meaning it's so selfish that not only does not give anything, but it doesn't even give excrement. It only takes. Most of us, and I include myself in this because I have to work on myself a lot to get to this point, most people, the predisposition of people is to, what can I take from the situation? How could I take care of myself? So a lot of people stay in that zone that it's about me. I don't care what I have to do. It's all about my food, my income, my desires, my everything. And people rarely think about other people. When you give charity, it forces you to think about the other people. And I'm not talking about like volunteering at the Salvation Army or at your local soup kitchen, which I think is a very, very positive thing. I'm talking dollars and cents, physical money. It says that there's nothing harder when a person gives of his or her money. It's as if they're giving of their soul. Why? Because in your money is found your blood, sweat, and tears. In order for you to earn that money, your blood, sweat, and tears went into that. Your mind went into it. Your time went into it. Your heart went into it. Your effort went into it. When you give that away, you're literally giving away your blood, sweat, and tears. Not only that, but you could have bought with that money. You could have bought food. You could have bought whatever it is. So because you could have bought food with it, you're literally taking away from your own livelihood, your own life, your own existence. So when you give away money, it's a tremendously humbling experience, and that allows you to care about another person except for your darn self. Even though you're a nice guy or girl, I'm sure you are, but giving charity brings that out into reality. Number 3, no one can criticize you for wanting to earn big. You heard me say it all the time, ladies and gentlemen. I will say it again. I'm not going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be 100 millionaire with God's help. That is my goal. I'm not shy about it. So when you give a lot of charity, nobody can say, you know what, that guy, he's going too big, or he's doing too much, or he's a pig, or he's selfish, or whatever it is. Because the more money that I make, the more money I'm able to give to charity. There's 2 guys in my mind. I'm not going to say their names, but they live in my city. They live in Montreal. One guy they're both one of the wealthiest families in Montreal. One guy does not give a penny to charity and is a mean old man. And this man, everybody want him to fall. Everybody want this. When he succeeds, people are not necessarily happy about it, because usually when he succeeds, it's because he snuffs somebody else out. And even if he does succeed, nobody benefits except for him. There's another family that I know that they're extremely wealthy as well, and they're extremely charitable, philanthropic, and when they succeed, everybody's happy for them because they know that their success is the community's success. People are going to be happy for you, and no one's going to say, you know what, they went too big, those people. They're going to say, wow, I'm so happy that they're successful, because that means good for the rest of us. 4, you could help great people around you. Obviously, when you're giving charity, and you have enough that it's able to spill over to the people around you, you're able to give. You're able to help people. There's people who really need help. There's a lot of people out there who cannot afford to go grocery shopping. I'm not talking about any fancy luxury. I'm talking about literally put food on their literal family's table. And I have been there before. I've been in situations where my wife has been at IGA or at the local grocery store and her credit card was not working. And that's a very, very painful thing. And when you're able to help those people, that's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. Nothing like it in the world. 5, God blesses you big time. This is huge, okay? Listen to this. You are not allowed to test God with anything on planet Earth. Nothing, except for one thing, giving charity. You're allowed to say, hey God, I want to see if I give this, if you're going to give it back to me. When you give charity, God blesses you tremendously. Let me tell you why. You think that you have a single bank account. Let me tell you, you don't. You have a joint bank account. Actually, sorry, most people have single bank accounts. If you make a joint bank account with God, then He will pour blessings into that bank account. But here's the caveat, here's a condition. He has to have full access to it. And how do you give God full access to your bank account? Is by giving charity. When you give charity, you're allowing Him to work through your bank account. And guess what? He gives you more. Bonjour. Could I have the mail? I'm waiting for something. I love the mailman, or in this case, the mailwoman. Awesome. Thank you. You want to make an appearance? You want to come say hello to the world?
I'm sorry. Do you want to go say hi in the live show?
You want to come say hello?
Sure.
All right. What's your name?
Melanie.
We have Melanie, the mailwoman. Say hello. Hi. Hello, world. We're talking about the power of giving charity today.
Oh, it's a big power.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should. Everyone should give a little bit of charity.
Be rich inside.
That's right. That's right, Melanie. You're going to be rich inside. That's actually my last slide. You feel better about yourself. Nice. Bang. Thank you, Melanie. God bless you. God bless you when you give charity. Just do it. You'll see it. I see it every single day in my life. Don't be a wimp. 6, you feel better about yourself. Oh, that was my favorite one. Number 7 is my favorite one. You feel better about yourself. You're able to. You feel like a good person at the end of the day. If everything is about you and everything is about how much could you make, how much could you eat, how much could you earn, and nobody else is benefiting from it, it starts to get a little bit. You feel selfish. You really, really do. When you give charity, it's like the best feeling. I drove to my rabbi's house last night. I gave him a check for $5,000. I felt so good about myself. You don't even know. I still feel good about myself. Even if I'm such a jerk and I'm such a douchebag, which I'm not. I'm a nice guy. But I still, at the end of the day, I have that $5,000. I have that $36,000. I have that on my record, and nobody could touch that, and nobody could argue about that. It is in my, it's in my good column, I guess you could say. Nobody could take that away from me, no matter how bad I mess up. Even if wealthy commercials falls off the face of the earth tomorrow, God forbid, at least I could say, hey, you know what? In that span that we had, I was able to give this amount of charity, so it automatically makes it a success. 7, people respect you. Grace didn't want me to put this. She was a little bit nervous about it. But yes, people respect you when you give charity. It goes back to those 2 families that I was talking about. One family is extremely successful, but they don't give charity. The next family is extremely successful, and they do give charity. People respect the family that gives charity so much more because they're good people, and because, again, they do good for the community and they do good for society. People respect you more when you give charity. The more successful you become, the happier people will be for you because they know that it's good for them and for everybody around them. So just to sum up before we end, questions. We will not end today without taking questions. Facebook, Instagram, please go ask them. But just to summarize, the power of charity. 1, 10% of your income, preferably 20%. 2, you stop being so darn selfish. I think that's my favorite one besides number 7. 3, no one can criticize you for wanting to earn big. 4, you could help great people around you. 5, God blesses you big time. I see it myself. I saw it myself. 6, you feel better about yourself. And 7, people respect you because you're not so number 2 darn selfish. Yes?
Sam Shipman just says, best feeling in the world, awesome that you're talking about.
San Shifrin, God bless. By the way, it's a very auspicious time. The Jewish New Year is coming up, Rosh Hashanah, in like 3-4 weeks. This is the time where all of your livelihood for the next 12 months is being decided. Don't be shy. Make your commitments. Living proof that the thing comes true. God bless. Thank you for watching. We will come to you tomorrow with another live show between 12 and 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Thank you for watching.